It's time to spill the tea. Hello!
You there, and welcome to
A Spoonful of Theatre. And this is another one of our Spill the Tea theatre reviews, where we review a piece of local Singapore theatre right outside the theatre foyer. I'm TJ, theatre director and practitioner.
And I'm Sam Sam, a teacher of language, literature, and self-proclaimed show business lovey.
So Sam, what have we just watched?
We have just watched All You Can Eat, which is a collaboration, shall we say, for want of a better word, by The Rice Cooker and Young and Wild. Now, who are they, TJ?
They are two of the education programs at Wild Rice, offering chance for new up-and-coming actors as well as writers to get a chance to work on the professional stage here at the Ni and Kong Si Theatre. So, Sam, what did you think of the show?
I'm hungry.
Me too, actually. I'm really
I
hungry.
am genuinely hungry, but that's a testament to what we've just seen on the stage there, because the entire theme of the show was Singaporeans' love of food.
Yep.
And it told Singaporean stories, Singaporean issues, all through that common theme, that common love, that common obsession of Singaporeans' love of its cuisine and its food. And yes, it's made me very hungry.
Do you know what I really loved, actually? Around us in the theatre, there was a lot of audible commentary on some of the food. Like, some of the people sat around us were like just unapologetically gasping or like tutting or offering their opinion when people said they liked a certain dish or had an opinion on the certain dish in the play, which really just shows that connection to the subject matter, which is really lovely. So I think the theme definitely struck a chord with the audience today, for sure.
Now, something we have to say about this is that it's not a self-contained story. It was 10 short stories, 10 vignettes, so to speak, told throughout the entire performance. So a chance for the cast to tell different stories, play different actors, act in different ways, different staging, different lighting. It was a fully staged production, which was quite interesting from my point of view, because I'm going to say straight off the bat, this is one of the best amateur productions that I've seen from a production point of view. There is a tendency, and all tea, no shade here, there is a tendency with black box amateur productions that are on a shoestring budget. I mean, we talked about this with the Fringe Festival. Like, they don't have the money for all big lighting and things like that. But with the power of Wild Rice, I'll say, there was a good production value and props and real food and drink on the stage. Now, how could you not tell a story without real food and drink on the stage? But I really, really appreciated the production value for this, an amateur production.
Honestly, I think that's the beautiful thing that Young and Wild gives their up-and-coming actors. It's a chance to be in a professional standard production. So this is basically their graduation showcase. So I've seen a couple over the years. So they do their program, they learn with Edith and other practitioners, and this is like their graduation show.
Right.
I'd say out of all of the ones I've seen, this felt most like a graduation show of a drama school, because often you would have short scenes or monologues put together, whereas in the past it's felt a bit more like a show. So it did feel much more like snippets, but I thought they were put together quite well. I think jumping into, and also like, I think the nice thing as well is because this is their rice cooker where they have up and coming writers learning how to script. There's pros and cons to that, because you get new writers and new actors. Sometimes when you're trying to write for the first time, you might get things right, and you might get the pacing right. And also then when you're adding new actors onto that, it can be hard to put those two things together, because some things might not necessarily come out how you wish. But after saying that, that's the whole point of this program. And what I love is that it's a space where Wild Rice can also try something new as well. So it was really lovely to see taking risks. There was some There was some really risky pieces that really kind of pushed the boat out. And then the actors really stepping into different roles and different types of roles. So you could see that they've been challenged with their acting, and some real nice successes throughout the evening as well.
Yes. What did you think of some of the stories?
I thought some of them were absolutely wonderful. There were some highlights for me, and I think we have probably the same highlights, I imagine, because I could feel your reaction. I think the first one for me, and I've forgotten the title, so I don't know if you've got it, but the prison scene. Kanchi. I absolutely loved that one. That came around halfway through the play, and that one for me really was emotive. It really stirred something in me watching it. It was basically the last meal of a prisoner, but their connection to the prison guard, and I feel like that one wasn't so obvious where it was going. It had some real interesting highs and lows for me. Do you have a favorite?
That was also one of my highlights. And so a real kudos to Mitchell Thang there, because there was real authenticity in that writing. And you were doing what we've always said, what Wild Rice does best, which is to present some discussions of local issues on the stage. And Mitchell, you did that beautifully. I really, really enjoyed that. The other one for me was Hot Pot.
Oh, of course.
By Rachel Ng. And because it was so funny.
It was.
It was so, so funny. And it took every stereotype of going to a well-known chain of hot pots in Singapore. I won't name it for legal reasons, but it took every stereotype of going to one of those restaurants and made it absolutely hilarious.
The audience lapped it up.
It was wonderful. I will have to say though, and this kind of links to what you were saying about taking risks. There were some ones that were a little bit left field, or a little bit too long, or there was one or two as well that like I got lost, and it made me question what is the point of this piece. But that's the point of risk and risk in writing and honing and learning that craft, which was the whole aim of that the performance.
And you know what? I love that that's what Wild Rice really is about. It's about nurturing that next generation. And I think going back to our interview with Ivan, that's super clear in Wild Rice's mission. So seeing that's fine. I think you only learn by doing. So some of them hitting the mark and some of them not quite hitting the mark. That's exactly how we get better at writing and acting and directing. It's how we learn. I'd say overall, putting it together, my one feeling from the night is there was moments that was very slow. And to me, that was partly the kind of putting together of the whole piece, like the direction of the whole piece. Some moments felt really slow. And what was interesting is that the whole piece was topped and tailed by who I assume is the teachers of the rice cooker, with Alfie and Joel taking the first and the last piece. And I thought it was a really lovely, snappy way to start the piece with Alfion's piece, because it was just basically points. And I thought the actors delivered them quite well, and it certainly stirred up emotions.
Yes.
The last piece by Joel, though, again, I imagine this is just a space where Joel's like, I'm going to try something new. I'm going to have a bit of fun. It was hard to watch. I mean, you know my hatred of a blackout. And I was sat there seething at how many blooming blackouts were in that last 20 or 25-minute piece. But I got the point. It was interesting, and I think, great, try something new. Was not my favorite style of scene, though.
I love the idea. I love the story that it told. And I think to George Lucas, the creator of Star Wars, he said things should rhyme. That rhymed a little bit too explicitly, in my opinion, but I loved the idea of it nevertheless. What about performances?
Oh, you know what? I don't think there was a weak performer on the stage, which, absolute shout out to every single one of you that have been through the Young and Wild program. That's also a testament to the quality of teaching. And you know what? There's many, many actors in Singapore that will have Young and Wild on their resume that we've watched in professional productions. So guaranteed many of the actors that we just watched on that stage will be on that stage in a few months, years' time. With Wild Rice as a professional actor. So it's always great to see.
Oh, I look forward to it.
It's always great to see the Young and Wild.
There's a few shout outs I'd like to give because I was really impressed. Chai Jin Yin. Your accent work in Hot Pot was brilliant. Really, really enjoyed it. Judah Khan, your physical acting and your facial expressions. Lee Mun-yi, I really loved you in Hot Pot. You just acted, you just acted the socks off of that piece. It was wonderful. And my last one, and I think really my favorite of the night was Sheikh Nazre, who played several parts and really delivered authenticity into every part that he played. So well done to all of you. Thoroughly, thoroughly good acting and performing tonight.
Absolutely.
Now then, ladies and gentlemen, as you know by now, when TJ and I go and see a performance, we usually give a rating out of 5 spoonfuls. However, something about tonight's performance is that it is an amateur performance. Now, some local critics and reviewers have seen fit to actually give this performance tonight a score of stars or whatever it is. We have decided not to, because we do not think it's appropriate to give a rating of what we would give to professional productions. Isn't that right, TJ?
Absolutely. And that's been the same for all of the amateur or semi-professional productions we've done. Our channel is about supporting theatre and uplifting and understanding that people are still learning.
Yes.
And ultimately, what Wild Rice are doing is absolutely amazing and is one of the best platforms for young actors, young writers, young creatives to learn their craft. So all we have got to say to that is keep on keeping on and doing what you're doing. And every single performance you do is a learning curve. Every single piece of writing you do is going to help you be a better writer. And how amazing that Singapore has this rice cooker ready to go here at Wild Rice, helping people to get into the industry. So keep on keeping on, Wild Rice.
Right, my teeth and cord loves. Shall we leave it there?
Let's.
That's cheerio from us. We'll be back soon.
And it's hurrah from me.
And to the cast and crew of All You Can Eat.
And to anybody else performing in Singapore theatre, break a leg.